enacting laws that exploit the people. Who knows how much longer we'll be able to go on like this.
Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up? Huh? Like, now? Is this really the right time?
I appreciate your kindness, but for now, it's more important to focus on the brave hunters. I leave the future...
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need...
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and
But which problem should we...
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss...
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like...
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right?
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are...
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script.
Paimon wants to know too! The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kinda like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them...
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a...
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master... Still, most people dropped out at the early stages. And others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person.
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems.
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sword.
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then... How about Casiodor?
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time.
From my master.
My master? Someone you... Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good...
Let's not get off topic. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors... Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete.
Ah, I see. That explains why most of the people...
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can't...
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization...
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues on...
What about you, partner? What do you think? I mean, you're not wrong. But those characters are usually the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. More often than not, they're very formidable opponents. We don't want a total party kill on the first day, right? With Clorand as the GM, I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Then it's settled.
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn around...
Like that guy said.
You there! Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build, and although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marchese Hunt?
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale you... Using your knowledge of medicine, you're able to deduce that the injury on his calf was a monster's doing, and the wound has already begun to fester.
I'm a doctor by trade. Please, let me redress your wound. You don't have to suffer like this.
The man appears somewhat disgruntled at having been exposed, but soon relents, and he allows you to apply a poultice of specialized medicine to the wound, and it appears to bring him much relief. The tension in his brow eases. Oh, right. Guess you lot might actually be real Marachose hunters after all.
Do you know where we can find the monsters, or the other guards who are fighting them?
He informs you of the various locations where monsters have appeared. He looks in that general direction with a pained gaze. Some of our new recruits have never even dealt with a petty thief, and now they're out there fighting monsters.
Oh, please, sir. Don't get too worked up. You need to focus.
Hearing you say that, a glimmer of hope flashes in his eyes. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with, but I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive.
Based on what the captain said, the monsters should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back, they yell.
This is the place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and downed trees riddled. All the signs point to one thing. A truly devastating...
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might still be around.
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal for them.
Ah! A little help here! This thing wants to eat Paimon!
Your battle round begins now.
How brilliant!
Step right up.
Hey there!
The next battle round begins now.
A round of applause!
May I present?
Go! Wipe out! Yeah!
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating into...
Ugh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points. Otherwise, we would have been...
I never knew the Fatometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky, isn't it just game over right then and there?
That's part of the fun.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be the thing that
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it.
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion appears to be made. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery.
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully, even without opening it. You can tell from the Mora and Jewel.
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it. We can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt fighting the monsters.
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it for...
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can...
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marashose hunters. What if they think we procured the treasure illegally?
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? Then we'll be ready to fight even more bad guys.
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice once again. Well, it's getting late. Why don't...
Wow! Where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all or because the story is particularly enticing, but I feel like I could almost keep going.
Here, here. Ooh, how about we play through the...
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if I get home too late.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh? Another location?
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an
Whoa, they really pulled out all the stops for this.
Well, even if we end the game for the day,
Something tells me you just want to finish the free desserts before we break for the...
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon, not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy your own. And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about Cloran's master.
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's... My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved...
What a heavy beak.
Master was a fascinating individual. My first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist.
Oh wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child? Isn't that dangerous?